Yeah.
So I just want to quickly do an update on the fundraisers we were doing initially, and then to also let everybody know what we we have been able to achieve. Last time I came on a live broadcast here, I already announced that we were doing three things, uh, three pronged projects. The first is to quickly see to the health issue of somebody who needed emergency, health attention, immediate healthcare attention, who was going for surgical operation on colon cancer. She needed 700,000 naira, but then we already raised 300,000 before I came on the show the last time, and then the doctors at the specialist hospital said, well, if we were able to raise it up to 500,000 naira, they will go ahead with the operation, and then we'll know how to, sort the balance afterwards. So I said we were looking for 200,000 naira to get her, at least to put her on in the theater for our own operations. And then two other projects would include number one, getting, you know, tools, equipment, machines for those who were in different, training institutes for, skillful vocational works. And then the third will now be school projects, where there are so many students at different schools who are very brilliant but who do not have financial support to be able to progress or carry on, to support them. Just a lot of people just need just little push, and then they are going to complete whatever it is that they were doing. So that's exactly what we wanted to embark upon. And I believe that doing it this way, we are going to empower a lot of people in a way that they will no longer need anybody to give them money to vote every 4 years before they can feed. Because if anybody, for instance, is able to feed and do their own thing and have dignity of human person, it will be difficult for anybody to give them 5,000 and to say for the next 4 years sell me your life or sell me your destiny. It will be very difficult. So that is exactly what prompted me to say, okay, this is a project we have to embark upon. But let me quickly bring you updates. After we announced that we needed 200,000 naira for a larger, uh, operation, and 500,000 naira to kickstart the other two projects. Between that time and yesterday evening, we were able to raise 287,000 naira in total. 287, that evening, while I was still doing the broadcast, we already had 30,000 before I finished the broadcast, because while I was still announcing, some people were already sending their own support. So two persons, I think we had 20k and 10k, so we already had 30k before I rounded off the show. And by the time I ended the show, somebody called middle of the night from US. That's the same person who sponsored that feed the streets project, that street outreach we did, that Annie Gold Foundation. She also supported, even though she and a few other persons will also not like to be mentioned, but I'm sorry, I already mentioned you, Annie Gold, because people already know you. She sent 70,000 naira that same morning. That's the following morning after she saw the show. She sent 70k, which made it 100k, and then I immediately forwarded that. And then subsequently after, some people started sending small change, which also made a lot of impact. That was how we were able to run over at 287. But another big chunk we had, somebody sent 50k, somebody sent 50k, another person sent 100k yesterday, and pleaded that I should please not mention his name. So then a few other, minor donations like that, which I also I greatly appreciate. The reason I greatly appreciate them is because it's not easy. If somebody sends you 5,000 naira, it must be out of their little that they are sending it. And if somebody sends you 100k, it must be out of their own status that they are sending. If somebody sends you 1 million naira, it must be out of their own status too that they are sending. But if somebody sends you 5,000 naira, it must mean that person is struggling but has to send. And that is where appreciating such person is very important. But in the end, we were able to, as of this morning, end up at 287 so far. Now that 287 that we had, what we had to do eventually was to say, okay, let us even get a larger on our own solution. I've read your comment already. I've seen your comment. Solutions, I've repeated it about 5 times, and I understand maybe network issues, right? But I've already seen the comments already displaying. Now, just to move forward, so just to make sure that at least we get our largest own cleared out of all the 3 things we said we wanted to do. It is my joy to announce that Alaja went for the operation yesterday, and it was successful. The reason I did not come up yesterday to come, and it was because I was following up and monitoring the process and everything. That's why I wasn't able to come up yesterday. It was quite tiring and all that. So I want to appreciate all of you who devoted your time to watch the show, who followed up, who sent something, who said no, we must do this, we must do that. Those of you that called and said no, we must make sure that, don't mention my name, but we must make sure that at least first of all we get that person back on our feet. I want to appreciate all of you. Alaja is recovering. As of yesterday, the operation was concluded and it was successful. We bless God. And then since then, I've been monitoring too. She's recuperating. She's getting better, even though she's still feeling minor pains after the operation. But at least we are hopeful that she's getting better. But to move forward to other projects. So after I forwarded immediate 100,000 to Alaja. I decided to push another, just to me, because we promised them that we'll make it at least 500 to kickstart the operation. After the operation, we'll be looking for another 200 to balance up the 700,000 that she needs. But at least she has had the operation and it was successful. We bless God. That's when we can always go back to it later and make it gradual. Although somebody was promising that, let me see what I can also do to see how we can at least do this and do that. Yeah. So we will still need to balance that 200,000 up, but at least I'm happy. My joy is that at least we're able to push her into the theater and get the operation done. Now back to the 2 other projects. Since we have been able to put, I was going to explain that after I pushed the first 100,000 naira to make it 400,000 naira, I had to push another 100,000 naira to make it 200,000 naira for her, meaning that we now have 200,000 to balance for, because the first tranche I got was 30,000 naira during the show, 70,000 naira by Annie Gold Foundation matron. I had to push that first, just to make sure that we could talk to the medical professionals to see how they could at least commence the operation, and assuring them that we'll get the rest. So the moment the other funds came in, I had to push another 100,000, making 200. Now, having reserved 200 for Alaja, we now have other donations that came in subsequently. We now have a balance of 87,000 naira, at hand. So that means the remaining money we need to kickstart the two other projects are now, the last two projects will now be 500,000 at 250 as we, estimated to kickstart. 250 for the two other projects. Now the 250 means that we now have 87, means that we need 500,000 naira to go, having at least catered for the 200,000 naira needed for Alaja to have our own operation. Now the last two projects require 500,000 naira to kickstart, but we now have 87,000 naira left, meaning that we now need 413. Yeah, if you take 87 out of 500,000, you now need meaning that we now need 413,000 naira to kickstart the other project. But one cannot wait for two for the rest. If you are able to raise 113,000 naira, I mean, how much are we going to need to add to 87,000 to be able to start the first set of work, the first phase of work? If we have enough money to kickstart the first phase, which is getting tools to empower people who want to go into the who are into skills acquisition, vocational training. If you can get their own tools for them, if you can get 250,000 naira complete now, we'll kickstart the first one. But if you get all the money complete, we won't mind kickstarting the two almost simultaneously, because that will make a lot of sense. There's a lot of money with people. If everybody puts their little or their big into it, nothing says we can't get it started. Because my own belief is that, see, we don't have government, and humanity to me is very important than government. And how do I mean? Aso Rock is not doing anything to anybody. Aso Rock is one of the houses in fact, it's one of the hellfires. If hellfire exists, Aso Rock is either the headquarter or an annex of hellfire. Because the people there don't think about humanity at all. They think only about themselves. You can imagine somebody was telling me a story earlier today, and I was so mad. And the person was always like, "Why are you always mad about issues?" I said, well, it's just the truth. Can you imagine that people will drive cars or bus, that all these people that you worship, they will drive cars worth 250 million naira, 250 million naira car, to small wedding party at Federal Palace Hotel. The driver will misplace the key. The key will be like remote control. It's not the key that you turn on. Don't be acting like village person. But anyways, I don't even have it, but I heard it, and I've seen demo online. Cars that are worth 250 million. Somebody will just misplace the key, and they will now abandon the car. 250 million, and there are more than how many of such cars parked for that event? Guess what? The funniest thing at that event now is that they will be driving that car on a very bad road. If you park 10 of such cars, no, let us see how many of such cars do we have in Nigeria. Let's say about 50 of such cars. 250 million times 50. No, 250 million times 10 will be, I think, about 2.5 billion naira. 2.5 billion naira, and the roads on which you are going to drive it is very bad. No, I hope you understand what I'm talking. The road on which you are going to drive that car is very bad. They failed to fix it. The Obas are not speaking for that road. They just want to buy the car for themselves. The amount of money Nigeria government has every day is enough to fix all of our problems, but they don't want to fix it. That is one of the imperialism, the agendas of imperialism, and it's affecting a whole lot of people. The funniest thing again is that they are not even going to take the money to heaven with them. Heaven is even too far. A lot of them will die with the money in their septic tank, and nobody will even know that there's money there. Some of them took money abroad and failing their own citizens at home. We are still recovering Abacha's or repatriating Abacha's looted fund since how long? Since oil windfall, $12.3 billion oil windfall. We are still he never finish. But the funniest thing again is that the God of Nigerian Christians, the God of Nigerian Christians does not punish the rich people. He only punishes the poor. So when you go to church, the preaching sermon will only be directed to the poor people, making you feel guilty that you are even poor. But let us get to it. If we can address humanity like Jesus did, Jesus did not come to preach any religion. Jesus came to preach humanity. And that's exactly one of the reasons I really love Jesus Christ. He came to preach humanity. Solution: stop typing good evening, good evening. I've seen your good evening. That's exactly why I disabled the live comment on the screen. In case you don't know, your good evening has come up more than 20 times. I've seen it already. Solutions: do you have network issue? Restart your phone. Solutions: please restart your phone. I disabled because it's only your own comment that is popping up too much. I guess it is repeating itself. Maybe network or your phone is misbehaving or something. But anyways, just to continue. So at the end of the day, you now ask yourself, Jesus Christ did not come to preach a religion. Jesus Christ came to preach humanity, and he fought for humanity. The leaders of, or the proponents of each of the religions we have, because don't forget, God is not religion, religion is not God. Each of the proponents of each of these religions, did not come to preach a religion. They came to preach love and humanity. But the problem we now have as we speak right now is that these people that we have these days have now turned it to business, and it's affecting everybody. But anyways, let us even leave that. Well, we now need more money, and I should not waste time. Those of you that want to support, it's very important that we all do this together. I know my people know. Some people don't even want their names mentioned, but they have good hearts, and I've seen them when they call. Some people want to talk to me first so that they will be able to ascertain what is needed, or what is remaining before they send. And it is for that reason I'm going to really drop my number on the screen again. Where is it? Okay. So that's my number on the screen, yet on the screen again. So if it occurs to you that we need to do this, please, if you need to reach out to me, that's the number. Okay, sorry. Okay, that's the WhatsApp number for those that want to reach out to me to know what we need next to be able to push forward. Some people want to be direct partners. Maybe you have a corporate brand and you feel like, oh, your brand could actually Paul Osage. I think the problem is actually with YouTube. Paul Osage, please restart your own device too, because I've seen your bro good evening more than 10 times. It's just repeating itself, and I guess it is YouTube comment system. That's why I decided to disable the live comment on the screen. Alright, but other comments I can see them, but one particular comment will just keep repeating itself every time. Somebody said Rennie, okay, maybe I should now put it on the screen again. Rennie is asking, and I want us to all deliberate on this together. Rennie is asking, will it not be easier to send the money directly to these needy people? And I'm going to respond to that, because I was initially going to ask people to send money directly to these people. But the reason we now decided to say, okay, let us control it, is this. Some people will receive the money, they will not get back to you. That's number one. Number two is that some people will not use the money for the purpose for which it was sent. But we want to capture it, show it, and let people see what they are paying for. Number three is that we are in Nigeria. Some people will go and use the money to buy a bowl, buy food and all that, and that's it. Number 4, if there is no monitoring, is a waste of money. Number 5 is that there are so many reasons. Number 5 is that at the end of the day, there was something we decided to sit down and do. That some people don't do feasibility before they tell you, I just need, they will just say, man, I want to do this business, I need this, I need that. You give them the money, they'll come back after 1 month, or even after 1 month, or even 3 weeks or 2 weeks, and say, yeah, it's not that we did not invest the money, we invested it, it's just that something happened or something changed. There's somebody we planning to work with. She did a lot of things like sending in solar battery inverter recently. She's in UK, but I don't know how much capacity she has to be able to do this. There's a proposal that I've just recently finished drawing up, and the proposal has the input of, well, okay, let us do it this way. The comments are repeating themselves, and I don't know why. On YouTube comments are repeating themselves severally, and I don't know the reason why it is so. I guess YouTube comment has issue. Maybe I'll disable YouTube comment and only allow Facebook. But let's continue. There was somebody I was talking to after drawing up this proposal recently. I didn't really know where to push it, so that's why I decided to say, okay, let us split it into 2, those in school and those learning vocational work. You see, there was something I came up with recently, that we have empowered people in the past. Personally, I've been involved in the empowerment of people in the past, but at the end of the day, the profit they make go back to NEPA, local government council collecting tax and other nonsense tickets from them, what other things, shop rent and everything. That's where their profit go to. They will always come back and tell you that it's not easy, So the idea we are now drawing, the proposal I recently drew up, which I don't know how easy it will be for one person to carry, but we'll probably need crowdfunding to support, is that we want something that will be solar powered. For instance, somebody who wants to be a barber, we just give them like 500 watts or 1 kilowatts 1 kVA of inverter, 1 battery and 2 solar panels. Then we give them a clipper, we set them up. This is your own business. That person will not have to buy fuel and will not have to pay NEPA, because it is solar that will be charging their inverter and powering their clipper. Number 2, dry cleaning business. We'll give you inverter, give you washing machine, give you iron that can be powered by solar, and then you'll be doing your dry cleaning business. They will at some point have to pay back after a stretch of time. They will be paying in installments back, but the first 3 months will be free for them not to pay. But from the 4th month or so, they will start paying in installment back, so that they will show seriousness that this is a business. But there are about 5 business. I only gave 2. There are about 5 business areas I itemized in that proposal. You understand? That will be solar powered, so that they will not be indebted to NEPA, and they will not be buying fuel for their generator, or requiring service for their generator, so that they can make their profit and use it for themselves and their family, and be able to even pay back and continue with their life. And they will not have to depend on somebody giving them 2,500 or 3,000 naira, you understand, for to vote for their oppressors. And that's exactly the idea. But what I'm up to is this. I only gave 2 ideas, barbing salon and dry cleaning, but there are about 5 of them that we have identified that solar power can give people freedom in this country. And I'm serious about it, and I want to achieve it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I believe that you cannot continue to talk to people. Even Jesus Christ fed people. While he was talking to them and he noticed that they were tired, he fed them. After feeding them, they were okay. After they were okay, they listened more. Do you understand what I'm saying? After they were okay, they listened more. So a lot of people is only hunger, that's why they are voting their oppressors repeatedly. But between now and 2023, if you can capture as many as possible, they will not continue to vote this. It's not about just calling them for protest, saying there's a messiah coming from US, New York to come and liberate them. It's not. See, you cannot fight on behalf of people who are still doubting whether it's about them. You can only fight with them. You don't fight on behalf of people, you fight with them. That's my own understanding of fighting. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time. That said, we need to empower people, as many as we can, because the oppressors have empowered other oppressors. So empowerment is very important. So if oppressors are empowering more oppressors, liberators must empower the captives so that they can understand and join forces with you. Anyways, not everybody will agree, and it's not compulsory, but let everybody work according to their conviction. Abi? Okay. I'm not trying to say somebody is not doing well. Everybody is doing well, but if you are convinced differently, you too continue doing what you are convinced differently to do. At some point, all these efforts will meet. So for me, I believe it is because people are hungry. That's why they are doing what they are doing. If people have what to eat, if people have what to do, if people have what to, it will be difficult for anybody to, like for me now, can somebody come and give me 5,000 to come and vote for any of these oppressive parties? It will be difficult now. Very difficult. You understand? It will be very difficult. So how many people can we, between now and 20, if you are waiting for 2020, you are wasting your time. And I'll tell you the reason. Because by 2023, your oppressors have empowered more oppressors, more downlines in their oppressionhood. They would have empowered more people. If you are not empowering more people, you are wasting your time. So how many people can we rescue between now and 2020? Even if it is that you want to lead a protest revolution or revolutionary protest, it is important. But it is important that you don't fight. You understand that you don't fight on behalf of people. You fight with them. Meaning that you first make them ready and you fight with them. But just want to come and appear suddenly to capture them or work for them, they will just be looking at you like, yeah, killing so. But anyways, I'm not condemning anyone. I'm just saying all the efforts are right, but at the same time too, let other things be happening differently. People are hungry, and Jesus fed people to continue preaching to them. Anyways, I digress. I'm just trying to say, let us see how we can empower people, not give them food, empower them, and let them continue on their own. By the time you take people up the streets, give them job, give them this, give them empowerment, give them everything that they need, before you know it, my own belief, you would have cut the market of people who only wait for 4 years to collect money to solutions. Please, I suggest a planting in buildings. I want to see someone do it. You suggest a planting in, what is planting, or is it painting you want to say? Maybe painting is another idea of business. Yeah, because I drafted about 5. Painting is not one of them, but planting is what this person is saying. I suggest planting in buildings, planting, tree planting, which planting, flower planting. Anyway, I'm sure you clarify in subsequent comments, solutions. So what I'm simply saying is that let's even start it and see how far we can go with it. The amount of 500,000 that we are looking for is not so big. It's not very big. It's even a small amount for somebody. One person can even pay it, and they will be able to even kickstart it, and they will be showing the results online, and all of us will be monitoring and following it up. Shebi, okay. So that's what the idea is about. Let us all see how far we can go with empowering people little by little, little by little, pockets of people here and there, pockets of people here and there, and they will be able to see, we'll be able to monitor their businesses, see it grow, see people do well, you know, and then before you know it, almost nobody will be waiting for somebody to come and give them 5,000 to vote for their oppressor. And subsequently, it will now become easy to speak, and people will understand why this should truly be so. Because if you tell people this is what is normal, they will tell you, oh, that is utopianism. They will tell you, oh, that's a utopian idea. Yeah, it sounds good, but it's too ideal to be real. It can't be real. It cannot be real. It can only be ideal. It's utopian. But I tell you, it is possible. It's just, and I take example of the protest against the killing of George Floyd in America. Do you know why it was so massive? People in America, a lot of them can afford everything that they want for the next 30 days, for the next 1 year. They can afford what to eat, even if they don't go to work, so they can afford to go out. But in Nigeria, is it somebody that has not eaten, that does not even know what to eat this morning, or by this afternoon, or this evening? Somebody that cannot guarantee what he will eat and his family will eat tomorrow, that wants to come and join you in protest. So that's what I believe is responsible for the difference in what we see, in the protests in America and in Africa. They are two separate. Some people are well fed already. They are okay. They can guarantee what they will eat up to the next 6 months, while the other set of people cannot even guarantee what they will eat after breakfast. What they will eat as lunch this afternoon, they can't guarantee. So that's like, so solutions is, number one, I suggest hydroponics or aquaponics, and raising beds around homes to plant some vegetables or tomatoes, potatoes and yam. Plus we can work with some student researchers. I understand that even schools are currently short. I don't want to say some things on air, but because Nigeria is so messed up, you understand. Schools are not even open, you understand. They are announcing the death of people who are supposed to fund public health sector but failed. Doctors are going on strike. They are telling them to go to hell, but they are going to specialist hospitals and they are dying there. I don't want to mention names. I'm indifferent about any politician. As I speak with you, right, any politician, I'm indifferent. Oh, more. They don't care about us. Anyways, but you know what? Now, if somebody who is a public official and him and his colleagues have failed to fund a public hospital that they left for the masses, are going to use specialist hospital, because there is, on the norm, you will not even hear that they are sick. They would have flown abroad. They would have been flown abroad. But because the airports are locked down, they are in the country, and they cannot use the hospital that they claim to be funding for the masses. They have to go and use specialist hospital that is private and more expensive, because that is what befits their status. Now they go there and they keep dying. Do you know what is funny? What is funny is that the masses that they kept the hospital that they failed to fund for are surviving. Now them, when they go use private hospital, now them they die. You understand? Anyways, because the masses already also know that these people don't care about them. they too already devised survival instincts. Even within the they know how to shuttle between public and private hospitals. They don't want to fund public hospitals, but they are paying themselves heavily, stashing the money away abroad and keeping large chunk of the money in their septic tank that nobody will even know that there's money there. Huge dollars. But people are suffering in Nigeria. I don't like talking this issue. Let me even just completely ignore it. Let's just talk about our project. So, in a nutshell, if you want to support, the last two project that we have, I'm glad to report to you that Alaja is getting better, and I'm going to see her again soon as she recuperates and she's able to talk. I'm not going to put her video here, don't expect it, because she doesn't even want. And I'm going to explain briefly the reason why that is so. The reason is that she's from a polygamous family, like most of us too. Even though our own is better, we don't have enmity or hostility or animosity in our own family. It's well managed. But there are some families that are not really that managed, you understand? And then they are always fighting and beefing one another, looking for any cheap blackmail against one another. So if I post a video of Alaja here, they will take it and use it against her. Say, that there has to be raising money for her. So that's why I will not post her video, because this is Nigeria. If it were abroad now, it would be a different idea. But Nigeria, you guys, you don't want to understand it. But those of you that understand will understand. But anyways, I'm happy that Alaja is getting better. You don't have to know identity. It is the one mind that you have, that all of us have, that we are using to support her, that is important. But I personally know her. And as I said, Annie Gold Foundation, the matron, will speak with Alaja one-on-one, video call, once she recuperates and she completely recuperates and she's able to speak. To talk for an extent, for a while, But others who don't want to be mentioned, I might just leave it, because we don't also want to, expose it too much, or let the thing go too viral. We just want to keep it like it's about humanity, and that's the most important thing. But anyways, if you want to send anything, that's the account on your screen. Go easy. I'm facing a lot of things. Somebody needs to. Okay, sorry. It is my. They are just sending me a lot for the data recharge before I came online. I thought it was a. I thought it was a credit alert. I was about to announce it, but I did not know it's a debit alert for the data I purchased to be able to come online tonight. But anyways, that's just the update, and I want to appreciate once again everybody who contributed, who put something up, who called, who checked on Alaja, who asked me about her welfare, her situation, her condition. Those of you also checking personally on me to know, guy, do you rest at all? Yeah, I don't really rest, but I try once a while to do that. But those of you who don't just want to send money without talking to me first, I understand. Some people want to know, some people want to ask sincere questions first before they send their money. Where's my number again? What's happening? Okay. Yeah, this is my number on the screen. WhatsApp, please. And at this point, it's just a short broadcast. It's just to come on air and give you update. Alaja has been operated and she's resting. She'll be fine by God's grace. She now needs our prayer. We have given money that we feel she needs to get operated upon. The balance we'll look for it later, but then hopefully all is well. And then we now need to get to the next stage. Financially, we now need to get to the two other phases of work that we need to do. But Alaja still needs our prayer to fully recover. I'll be happy if this is one of the successes we record, trying to help humanity on this channel, because that's the next phase we should go. And I'm going to say this in closing. If humanity is put first, and everybody is okay, nobody will want to be president of Nigeria again, because that is one of the houses of the devils in this country. Aso Rock is in fact, it's probably the headquarter of the people who perpetrate the highest evil or evils in this country. So nobody wants to be president anymore. By the time we take all the responsibilities of government away from them, and we as citizens are already doing it among ourselves, what are the duties or responsibilities of government? Security, welfare, electricity, this and that. But if we as citizens are already doing it for ourselves, among ourselves, government will already be embarrassed and they will be useless and irrelevant. So it is to this end that I want to say that let us as human beings start caring for ourselves. And my name is Shegun Olo. I'll see you again, possibly tomorrow or other time. You'll see uploads. We have works to do. I want to go back to the streets, because that's where the work is. I'll see you possibly tomorrow, and I'll say bye for now. I leave you with Larry Safari, Vagabonds in Power. The title of this one is Vagabonds.